Hello, I'm Cat, and I recently went around my survival Let's Play world collecting one of each item that you'd expect to have for your Minecraft house. Or to be a bit more accurate, I went a bit Noah's Ark and got 2 of each item, so for instance 2 double chests, a anvil, a stone cutter, a bed, a crafting table, etc, etc, for every item you could conceivably want in your Minecraft house, including 2 that you're going to want to have in a future update, the smithing table and the fletching table of course. And the challenge today is to put all of these items together in a usable house, a functional house that you can sleep in, respawn in, that also lets you use every single one of these items to their truest and maximum potential, and that's what today's challenge is, that's what we're trying to do, and I hope you do all enjoy this video where we try to do exactly that. So let's just start by laying down the ground rules as to exactly what this challenge constitutes of, because we're going to be including one of every single functional block that you might want in your Minecraft house or in the same house. They all have to be usable, that's the second stipulation. The third stipulation is it has to actually function as a house, i.e. when the door is shut, mobs cannot get in. That's a really key essential part of this. And then the fourth part of it is going to be the fact that we're going to try and minimize the area inside and the footprint on the outside as much as we can to the minimum possible. And without spoiling this, I think we've pretty much maximized the challenge because we're going to start with our bed on the ground just like this. We're using a red bed because there's just something about if you play Minecraft a long time, you usually start with a red bed even if you don't need to because it just reminds you of the old days. And then yeah, we're going to dig out the ground under the bed because you have to do it that way. And we're going to place a double chest underneath there. One of the surprising facts about Minecraft is you can open a chest even if it's under a double bed, and no matter what you put in this other slot, although we'll put a grindstone there, you can still access the chest just fine, just like this. So we can now use the grindstone, we can use the bed, and we can use the chest, and we've done so while using a very small footprint. In fact, we pretty much just used the bed. Okay, so now what we're going to have is we're going to have a little bit of a wall behind the bed, and this wall is going to be the crafting table wall of the house. So it's going to have a crafting table, it's going to have the loom for banners and stuff, it's going to have the smithing table with that future use, and it's going to have the fletching table there too. So yeah, you can see kind of like a shape of a house start to take form now. And now, next to that, in the other wall of the house, we're going to be having an anvil, we're going to have a furnace, we're going to have a blast furnace, and we're going to have a smoker. Because again, even though these are kind of just extra furnaces, you might want that more efficient speed in your house, and this house has to have every single, useful, functional, crafty block, and therefore we'll have all of those there. There's a small gap in the house over here, but it's not in the right place where any mob can actually hit you physically, or fire an arrow at you, because again, there's no way, unless you have like a hole near your house, that a skeleton actually can't go in there and shoot you, because you'll always be just over there, and the skeleton will never be able to see that. So yeah, basically, even though there's an anvil gap, the anvil gap is actually quite tactically placed down there on the floor. The next wall of the house is going to use a similar trick here because we have an enchantment table, which is going to have a cartography table on top of it, so we can craft maps, do stuff with maps, still have access to the enchantment table, and technically make a gap in the house, but again, not one small enough that's actually usable in any particular way to hurt us. But this means that we can then enchant really quickly, and then disenchant over here, or use the anvil to combine enchantments. All of the stuff is going to be very close to each other and like opposite each other, so that it is all usable very quickly, one from the other to the other. And if we're standing here, just left to right to left to right, easy, easy, easy. Everything is very deliberately placed like that. Oh, and actually, since it's the first night, I should quickly point out the fact that this bed will work. So what you might do if you're trying to make a smaller house than this is obstruct the bed by putting blocks all the way above or on top of it. You don't want to do that. You want to leave some blocks in the diagonal space near your bed free. And the reason that we're doing this out here is because as soon as daytime comes, you're pretty safe outside your house. Your house should be safe on the outside anyway, and this means that your respawn point is actually going to be outside your house, and that saves us some internal space. So yeah, instead of obstructing the bed, we just take the respawn point and make it outside of our house. And in case you don't know what that means, then look what happens when I wake up. On the outside of my house, because the interesting thing about this is the fact that, yeah, when you have a bed which is surrounded on all the major sides by stuff, as long as you keep the diagonal sides free, you should be good. They technically count as spawn locations, which means that your bed still works as a bed, it just doesn't utilize the inside of your house as that rough spawn location. So yeah, saves you some space by putting the spawn location outside your house, and given that the outside of your house should be safe anyway, then it's not really a big issue, right? Anyway, my next decision is to take this corner piece down here and use this for a barrel. The one thing about barrels is they don't actually require anything to be atop or below it for it to work. So even when we put a jukebox just above here, which we're going to do right now, even though the barrel opening's on the top, you can still use it just fine. Then on top of the jukebox, we're going to put a brewing stand. This is actually quite a clever little tactic in my head because it means that when you're inside the house, you'll be able to see out the window or out the side of the window. But yeah, mobs will not try and track you through that. Even though there's some partial blocks where mobs can shoot you and you can shoot them, mobs will always try and go through the door. We'll show that off later, but for now, just keep in mind our door will be right here. It'll be a jungle door, which, for the record, the superior door type, because you can see down a little bit, and you can see if there's any baby zombies at the front door, which, given that they're the worst mob anyway, important to have a door where you can see those. Not the best door, but one of the best doors. Maybe Acacia's a little bit better for that. But then, yes, we've got a jungle door here. We've got this being our pillar, which even though it looks like there's a gap in the house, there actually isn't as far as the house is concerned. And then finally, we can finish off with the roof, which I appreciate is going to seem entirely bizarre to some, but there's going to be an ender chest up here, there's going to be a stone cutter up here, nice and accessible, and then there's going to be a campfire here. So the campfire here might seem like, why are you doing that? I mean, it's a little bit of a chimney, I guess, but why would you, you know? And the answer to this one is quite simple. First of all, if spiders get on the roof of the house, as there one happens to be here right now, actually, if a spider gets on the roof of the house, they'll take damage if they get on top of this. I can try and show you this in the daytime by getting this spider to aggro me and then jumping on top of my house, but needless to say, the campfire takes damage when mobs climb on top of it. As you're gonna see, as I do nothing to this spider. Oh, he stopped caring. But yeah, basically the campfire is a fire, which means if you step on it, you take damage. This is true not only for you, but for other mobs as well. And although you can crouch if you want to be smart and not take that damage, other mobs literally cannot crouch. And therefore they're going to take damage if they try and sit on top of your house. And again, if they are sitting on top of your house, you're likely going to be standing here doing anything in your house, because this is the official standing space, which means they're going to be taking damage for trying to get on top of you, which is a nice little thing there. Also, the campfire has a really nice additional benefit of being a light source. It's a light source pretty much all day, every day, which means that you actually have this free source of light on top of your house, which can always be keeping, you know, mobs away from spawning there. So you'll never come back to your house in the evening and find a creeper as you open the front door. One, because there's literally one place a creeper could fit, and two, because the entirety of your house and the immediate surroundings are lit up by the campfire. Also, it's worth mentioning they're lit up by this enchantment table as well. You can actually be a little bit sneaky with the enchantment table and place a torch in the block below it, which, even though it doesn't look like it's visible to you, at nighttime it does create an additional lighting boost. So yeah, there's extra light around there because the enchantment table has a default light level, but a torch will go through it because it's a transparent block. Don't ask me why this counts as transparent when it's made of obsidian. It just does count like that, okay? And yeah, basically, there's a few clever little things going on here, such as the lighting, such as stuff like that, which should allow us which are going to allow us to fill pretty much every condition of having a house, except we've done so in a 1x2x2 area. So yeah, just to clarify, this house, again, has every single one of the blocks I mentioned earlier, has pretty much every single use you could have in survival, like, want to play some music? You've got that covered. Want to brew some potions? You've got it. Make maps? Yeah. Enchant things? Sure. Smithing functions and fletching functions we don't even have yet? Yeah, you're ready for that. Make banner patterns? Heck yeah. Craft things. Stone cut things, which is so handy, like, underrated block, by the way. Ender chest, yep, we got access to that too. The campfire even, you can play around with on top of your head. We've got the blast furnace, we've got the smoker, the regular furnace, all the furnaces you could want. We've got the anvil for combining items together. We've got this double chest under the bed for storing huge numbers of items. We've got this barrel for more specialist items. Then we've got this, I think it's the stone, not the stone cutter, the grindstone. And then finally, we've got the OG red Minecraft bed, which means we have every single function, including the door, that you could want in a literal space of about one. So again, the internal space, it's 6 blocks or even less than that. But like the space between the walls and the house itself, again, we're using the floor and the ceiling as our blocks, is literally 6 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a tiny, tiny inside space, but it's everything you need in a Minecraft house. The outside space, so you know, the inside, the area, so the volume of this house is literally 6 blocks, 6 meters cubed. So the perimeter of the house is 3 blocks here, and then 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here, 1, 1, 1, for a total of 14 block perimeter. So yeah, a 6 block volume, a 14 block perimeter, and an absolutely tiny footprint on the environment. In case you're like, oh yeah, well it looks so big, and that's because it's so active. If we actually get any like tiny distance on this, let's just climb up to my little mountain up here, you'll see just how tiny that house really is. That is a fully featured Minecraft house that probably has more things inside it than your current house, because most people haven't upgraded their house to match 1.14 yet. This house is probably more functional than yours, and it fits in a footprint that small in the ground. Oh, and something I didn't even think about, it has the additional benefit of basically acting as a beacon, so you can always find your house because the campfire is making this huge 10 block high smoke that you should be able to see from a much further distance than you might see some other houses. So you've even got the nice additional benefit of the huge signal boost that is just particles. Again, it's not part of the house, but it is a nice little additional thing right there. This is a very functional Minecraft house. However, we haven't hit 10 minutes yet. I don't actually know if we've hit 10 minutes yet, but I'm gonna make the joke, we haven't hit 10 minutes yet, so I've got to milk this video for more, right? But no, more seriously, I do want to talk a little bit more about what you should, if you want to minimize a house, it's also about what you do on the outside of your house that matters. I mean, like, truth be told, the area surrounding your Minecraft house is just as important to you as everything else, not just because of a whole, like, oh yeah, look after your environment thing, which, important in the real world and in Minecraft as well, but also in the sense of everything outside your Minecraft house affects how easily you can walk to and from your Minecraft house door. So with that in mind, one of the simplest things you can do is just torch up the area around your house. Use the most efficient torch technique, which if you don't know, is having 6 spaces in between every single torch and then doing a huge diagonal pattern so that every single last block around your house is at light level 7 or above. If you do that, then fantastic. You've nailed it. You've got yourself an entire area surrounded. But then the question is, what if a creeper spawns, maybe on top of that mountain, somewhere that is outside that light level? Because you can't do this forever. You can't cover your entire world in torches. So then the question is, what if a creeper walks from there, or a monster like that walks from there, and then manages to make it to your house? Side note, but I went to sleep another night, I spawned over here, and you can see there's some creepers, one over there, one hiding behind the elephant even, or yeah, just behind the elephant trying to get away from me. You could see how, like, oh yeah, if you're not ready for that, that might catch you off guard. And so what I would recommend is, again, you could light up the area for an area far enough that realistically no mobs could get there, or you could do something that's a little bit more, I would say, fun looking, because again, you've done all this, you spent all this time trying to efficiently make your house, make it as small as possible. Maybe what you want to do instead is have a fire perimeter around the house. This means that no mobs can practically get anywhere near it because you make a nice little diamond that very clearly states anything going over this is going to get lit on fire. It's quite easy to do because netherrack is a very, very easy block to obtain. Like, you literally have too much netherrack in a chest somewhere, I guarantee you. Somewhere in your Minecraft... Darn it, this happened again. But I guarantee somewhere in your Minecraft world, you probably have a bunch of netherrack lying around anyway, so why not use it as a way to do something like this? Admittedly, the fire will spread every now and then, and if you place the barrier too close to your house, you might catch it on fire, so there's some room for potential disaster. But if you've got a huge, plains biome around your house anyway, like we do right here, then why don't we just have this huge fire barrier around, which is always lit up, always providing a light source, so mobs won't spawn near it anyway, but if mobs do spawn and they do try and walk in this direction, they're going to be burned before they can get over it, because most mobs won't try and jump over something into the fire. So yeah, just like this, you make a firewall around your house, because again, I've shown it before on my channel how to make mob-proof walls, and that's something that's fun and useful to do, but most people would rather an easy solution, and the easiest solution is something like this. Have one entrance in and out, either make it like to the side somewhere where mobs can't realistically get near your house, or make it directly in front, so this could be your easy way in and out. Just make an easy fire entrance, and if you want to make your, make yourself even safer, because like, who knows what will be on the outside of that fire entrance, then you can make an extra few blocks like this, and do something where it's like, yeah, you have to walk through the gates of hell to get near my house. And then also, as a fun little fact, you've got like a garden area built into your house as well. Again, this kind of loses the efficiency of the house itself, but the house itself can be placed anywhere, and the fire barrier can also be placed anywhere. It's just more convenient on a flat ground. But yeah, if you want to keep a house that's really, really tiny, really, really safe, with the smallest space possible, you could do this with an even smaller barrier if you wanted to. But here you can see just how tiny and just how efficiently you can guard a house in Minecraft. So yeah, with that said, I hope that you learned something in today's video. Maybe that thing you learned is that, oh yeah, you can keep away strangers with fire, or maybe that thing you learned was, holy heck, you can fit a lot of different things in a very tiny Minecraft house. I'd like to know what it was in, I guess, the comments down below if that's a thing you enjoy, because we did this challenge before and we made a 2x2x2 house, so it's kind of impressive that we managed to make the house smaller while also fitting more blocks in there. At least I think that's the case. Let me know if you agree, because I'm always curious. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm going to put my netherrack away now, and I'm going to see you all in the next one. Goodbye.